Welcome to the Smoking Word. Welcome to the.
What's up, everybody? We are back. The Smoking Word podcast is brought to you by CasaDeRock.com. If you haven't heard, that's my merch store. If you want to support the show, you want to support me, or you just want to look good, go there and cop some merch. We have a clearance sale right now. We got a couple t-shirts going for $15. So let's finish that off. We got a couple hoodies left, and we're making room for a whole lot of new stuff. So again, if you want to support the show, you want to support me, you want to support the movement, CasaDeRock.com is the spot. I got you. And you can also make sure you follow the podcast. You have to subscribe, everybody. I'm going to say this shit on every podcast. Following is cool, but it doesn't count. Make sure you subscribe, leave a message, repost it, do something with it. But you can follow us on Apple Music, Spotify, and especially our YouTube channel. We're about to get crazy with it this year. We got a lot of content and a lot of cool shit we're going to be doing on there. We're keeping it moving. Fuck this COVID shit, but we grinding. But also follow me on my Instagram, Hoya Rock 357. Keep you up to date with everything. Casa the Rock, everything Smoking Word and everything Madball. We're dropping that new record. So the grind continues. And today I got a very special guest, an old friend, New York hardcore OG, Queens, baby. CIV Gorilla Biscuits. Let's set this shit off.
Welcome to the Smoking Word.
Good, I hear you and I see you. How you been?
I'm good. What are those awards behind you?
Well, if you haven't heard during this whole COVID thing, I figured to take my education to the next. You crazy? These are my sons, man. I got thrown out of school.
I was
You
like,
should know better. First of all, Sid, you should know better.
Doctor Hoya.
Excuse me, Mr. Books behind you, because you got a book. It means
Well,
you read
listen, obviously we both decided where to put the computers to make
Right?
it look.
Exactly. Yeah, you're not thinking as it like
we're not dummies.
that dude edutainment, that guy who has that very popular YouTube channel. He has all the books. But I'm glad I got to get you because I've been trying to get you. I've been trying to get that white ass for a while.
Listen,
that.
this white ass doesn't just pay out for anybody.
I know, and I was like, I got to work for this one, so I wine and dine. But then it became, I was like, yo, am I just, getting used for,
the best part about this?
What?
It's absolutely fucking killing Toby.
Oh, are you not? I'm not saying nothing, but hold on.
Oh, wing. Oh no,
yeah.
he knows it's a thing. I'm just like, I'm not doing your show.
Yeah, and I love certain guys, and that's what we do. But I've been wanting to get you for a while anyway. But it was also because besides, the little band you're in, you have a you have a connection to my youth from being in Queens that we'll get into and all that. And I was like,
I love talking Queens.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, and also, again, during what I really like is, all right, during this whole COVID shit, people been stepping their game up. A lot of podcasts dropping or people getting creative, dropping all that shit. That's dope. But a lot of us already been ran through the mills, there's a lot, which fair enough, the similar content. My shit was like, we'll talk about a little bit of, how we got into this shit, but it's growing up where we grew up, especially like I've been talking about it lately more now than ever with a couple of the last dudes we had on and just people in general. Queens.
Yes.
What is it about Queens that fucking felt that, just became half the soul of this hardcore shit? The gritty Lower East Side squat pieces of shit dirt bags with all respect, which I love and we all love, but you know what I mean. And then from the suburban neighborhoods, and also we got a lot of hoods, but that mixed
Yeah.
big suburb of Queens. How the hell? What do you think is it that
I
made Queens a fucking a
I mean,
hotbed for this?
I think the proximity to the city, to Manhattan,
Uh huh.
is was one thing. Um, because I just remember as being a kid, like when I would go, I would walk out onto like 31st Avenue, and I would look to the right. I could see, the city, Empire State Building and stuff. And you're only really from Long Island City, you're only one stop away. So
Yeah.
when we grew up, Roosevelt Avenue was my stop, and and it was just like it just seemed accessible, but you
Yeah.
also got to have. I mean, when we were really young, it was just growing up in a neighborhood, and I think people. I don't, it's kind of when I moved to Harlem, I kind of got that neighborhood vibe back.
Yeah. It's one of
But
the few places still like that in New York. There,
yeah,
and probably a few neighborhoods in far Brooklyn.
yeah, because I
Like,
remember before I moved to Harlem, I lived in the West Village, and there was people who lived on my floor, like 4 apartments. They wouldn't even say good morning to you in the hallway
yeah.
because it was all transient, people that were coming into the city from some other state or some other part of New York, but there was no vibe, like no neighborhood vibe.
Yeah.
So Queens had that neighborhood vibe where, like, your mother would get a phone call, you get someone call your mother and tell on you,
Yeah.
or like someone else's fucking dad would fucking hit you. You know what I mean? Like give you a smack if you did something like wrong, like with their kids. Like if someone would catch one, you'd catch one, and you'd go home and say, "Oh,
Yeah.
Mister Hitman," your father
Yeah.
go, "Good." Like
Yeah.
you'll
Yeah. Yeah.
catch
Yeah.
it again. But I
You know what?
think
You know what I
Queens.
started. You know what I started thinking also, and I don't know. You could probably answer this because also you're from a generation before me,
Oh,
and
relax, bro.
yeah,
I'm not
from
that young.
a far generation, far, far, far before me, like Star Wars.
Relax,
No,
young guy.
but but did it? But did it have anything to do with this? That there was like a big almost like a rock scene where
Yeah,
when everybody, the hair guys in Queens, like the Astorias,
that's what I was
and
gonna say.
guys were, yeah,
I grew up as a rocker. Like my brother was a metalhead. He was 4 years older. So he was like that generation ahead. So I was trying to do what they were doing. And then see, Queens was weird because we were metal, but then
that,
hip hop came in early. And
yeah,
I used to when I was in like 8th grade, I started writing graffiti because I could draw a little bit, and I saw it, and that was magical because you'd wake up and there'd be new shit, and you're like, who did this?
yeah,
Where did this come from?
MQ,
I was just
MQ,
MQ, it was MQ, but I had even like bad, like shitty writers in my neighborhood that would get up. So I got into hip hop early, and that was another thing that led me to the city and to a multicultural kind of a thing from Queens because our neighborhood was
yeah,
it was our neighborhood. It was white. It was Italian and Irish. Then it was like Corona. It was like Spanish and Black, Jamaica,
yeah,
surrounding areas. And people don't understand that anymore. Like when we grew up,
yeah,
there was your neighborhood. You stayed in your lane, or you got
yeah,
your ass your ass handed to
yeah.
you. You crossed the wrong street, and everybody respected the boundaries. So it's much better that it's open now. But that's how we grew up. So it was different. But I think the failed metalheads in Queens.
Yeah, failed
Uh,
metalheads. It's funny you say it like that because that's what it is, but in the dopest way because they became us, like
yeah,
guys that became in
because
bands.
there was a guy in my neighborhood named John Militage, and he was like a weed dealer, and he would bring a little amp to the park, and he would do like Jimi Hendrix Star Spangled Banner, but he made music accessible, and it made it like you're like, oh, this fucking metalhead's playing guitar, like
I could do
maybe
that.
someone else, yeah, I could play it, or like someone else could do it, or we can do this, but I mean, I honestly think like Astoria was the hub in Queens.
Yes.
Leeway, Token Entry, Murphy's Law. That was like my Astoria connection. Even like bands more of our age, like that made it really accessible, like the New York Hoods and like shit like that.
Yeah.
So the first New York Hoods. So I but I mean, for me, it went from hip hop and like graffiti early, really, like from like 82. And then by like 85, then Agnostic Front came into my life through my friend Danny. And then new wave girls made me want to girls. Same thing with hip hop.
Yes.
Puerto Rican girls. I was like,
Yeah.
oh wait, you like that? I could write.
And ain't this crazy? This is something that's lost in the hardcore scene. It's not a bad thing, or or whatever thing. It's just something I noticed, like, which is great. Now you got straight up hardcore girls, right?
Yeah.
Back then, the hardcore girls were half. They were like Susie and the Banshee girls, kind of like new wave, right? Like
new wave girls,
gothic. And they would go like hardcore shows, but they were
like
a
preppy
hybrid.
Girls, yeah, like preppy girls would show up in varsity jackets.
Oh, I know. Why do you think I went to the Gorilla Biscuit shows? Because I know I said, hey, you want to find those, that or a new pair of Nikes. I'm going to Gorilla. But that's another story. That's another story.
You can get free Air Jordans over at the Gorilla Biscuit.
I was like, yo, GB's in the motherfucking house.
Yeah.
But but yeah.
But I think Astoria, I don't know, man. I don't know. I guess it's, we had garages in some people's houses to practice. Like there were certain things, skateboarding, it became, I guess, because Astoria had the pyramids. So skateboarding brought punk into it. We had a loading. We used to skate near a loading dock behind like the supermarket, and that's where we would like kind of hang out. But that's the other thing people don't realize, like, I always bring this up, like if you didn't hook up with your friends at the right time, you were fucking walking around for an hour trying to find them, and God forbid they were in someone's house already, and you didn't know who you're knocking on doors. You ride your bike around. You try to find them. So that's I remember Anthony from Killing Time. He was like our first, connect with Astoria, and he would drive around in his brown Trans Am, and like, he was the only one that had a car. So he would like drive around and find us and hang out and then bring us somewhere. We'd pile in his car and go somewhere else. And he was the first person to bring me down to the Lower East Side. Yeah, Anthony. He put me in the car one night on like a Saturday night and drove me down to Tompkins Square Park. And that was like, my mind was like exploding.
Hell yeah, Mars. I loved it. When I first got there, I'm like, I'm on another planet. There's people with 3 heads, mohawks, people talking to themselves.
I think we had gone to CB's already. And like, I remember walking down Bleecker and seeing everybody outside. And I was like, yo, fuck this.
Yeah.
I was about a block away and I stopped, and I had people with me, and I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, man. No, I know, because even the background, the surrounding, the LES was filthy. It was just, remember?
It was just
junkyards.
Punk, yeah. It was burnt out cars. I mean, it was great, but
you know what I loved about back then, and I tell this story a lot, and this is like one of the things that I know I'm getting old, because I'm like, I remember and I loved this when I was a kid. And speaking about what you said, like, for instance, with Ezek, we, obviously as kids, we would go to a lot of shows, but it would be like this. Okay, I'm in high school. All right, Sunday, where it's Sunday night, we're already coming home from the matinee. And then it's like, yo, what up? All right, yo, next week, Gorilla Biscuits playing. All right, bet. Yo, Sunday, last car of the F train.
Yes.
12 o'clock. You knew you didn't have to call each other 100 times text. You knew 12 o'clock, you start looking, and boom. Last car, 74th Street, you knew.
Yeah. Walter wrote that song at the matinee, because it was just like, I'll see you on Sunday, because you just knew. Even if you didn't even know who was playing, who cared? I had this discussion with Roger one time when we were going to play that, when we were going to revisit that old, that Super Bowl thing with Sick of It All and AF. And, we had this discussion, and I was like, I don't know when the audience kind of decided who was going to be like the main band. Like the scene and the pecking order kind of decided that, not like the people who were worried about the last train home. It was just like, fuck you guys. These guys play last because they're the oldest band, or they're this band or that. And you got to show up. Even, the opening bands, everyone's going to stand outside, but at least they're outside and people come in and out. You got to earn it,
Yep. And all fairness, also though, I also feel back then we gave the scene in general gave
Yes.
newer bands, cause maybe because it was newer still, even in the
Yeah.
later '80s. That my whole shit was I would even duck my head in, even if it was for a minute, because I'm like
Yeah.
I would like to find the new shit. Who was the
Yeah.
new band? So
You
many
had to.
times that many times you're like, yo, let me go see what's going on, and then you might come back right up, but you would go check it out.
Yeah, because I mean, we only had like 20 bands to choose from. So if there was a new
Yeah,
one, you were psyched. I
I
mean, I even get that now. Like I have my routines when we go on
yeah
tour or play shows, and every once in a while, I'll like if it's like it's got to be like the stars have to be in alignment, but I'll like go out and like watch a
yeah
band, and sometimes I'm super surprised and like
yeah.
just like pumped on it,
Yeah,
and
yeah, no, people forget, when you're around it so much, and we got, other things in our lives we got to deal with during a
yeah,
show that, it's hard. But I do love it when you do say, "Yo, let me see what's going on," and you find something, you find
yeah,
yourself bopping, and you're like, because it reminds you, it's like, "Yo, you're not dead yet, dude." You
yeah,
know?
and the other thing is we're so spoiled, both of us,
Yeah,
with how we are able to perceive music and live it and do whatever we kind of want with it, and it's on our terms. When you go out and watch an opening band or like second, third band, the respect factor for me goes
oh,
up here,
bro,
like we were just on tour, well, not just a year ago, the last tour we did with a bunch of bands in Europe playing that MAD thing with
persistence, yeah,
Agnostic Front and H2O and Wisdom in Chains. But I would go and watch because it was the same thing. You're like in rock and roll prison, so you're like,
yeah,
I'm gonna go watch Count Time,
yeah,
and those dudes, and I said to these guys, like they would bring it and play and bring the show as if it was the packed house and everyone knew their shit and they were selling it, and they
yep,
gained fans, and they made me a fan of them, and it
yep,
was because they weren't bitching or half stepping or anything. It was
grinding,
just like earning it, and no one wants to
yeah,
earn shit. No one wants to earn anything anymore. Everyone's
yeah,
entitled. You're famous on Instagram, and
yeah,
it's just like, so to watch dudes do it in real time, in real life, the way
yep.
they're supposed to, it was awesome.
No, for sure. It's rough being an opening band, and especially, you know, when we came up. I mean, we've all had those type of shows, but we were also lucky that, like you said, since the scene was smaller, it was
Yeah,
a bigger deal. So, the average show was more hype.
yeah.
Not just like, oh, it's another show. It was a bigger deal
There
because
was
there was less
50,
of them.
50, 100 people. You were like, we're sick. People, like 5 people were dancing. We're the best. But again, also we were 16. So,
Yeah, yeah,
so it's like it's a lot cooler when you're 16. When you're 40 and
yeah.
there's 5 people at a show, it's like
But they're
maybe,
going off. But they're going off, Sim. Though.
yeah, they go. But I got but I gotta maybe rethink it, But
Yeah,
it's like
no, for sure. Yeah, no, for sure.
it's
It's
different.
the beauty of one of the things I again, as much as we fly that hardcore flag, and we always will, and
Yeah,
that's what we are. But I love metal for a lot of things, and what it brought to hardcore music, and to especially with Madball and my style. And there's a lot of
yeah,
things I love about metal, but the thing I brag about hardcore the most is what made us special, and that will never change, and that this is the reason why some of these metal bands got into hardcore, and I'm glad, because I love the influence, was because there's no, you see, metal doesn't have all right, look, if music, if playing a scene was a high school, hardcore music had from first grade to eighth grade.
right.
You could play from the garage to if it was the ABC No Rios or the whatever, and then you make your way up the Lismore Lounge, and then you work up the Coney Island Highs, the CBGBs, the Rip. With metal, you had the battle of the bands, or you had a way to get on the national act at Lemoore.
Yes.
So all that middle tier, there was nothing for which was the average hardcore show, a show for 80 people, 150 people, 200 people in a,
Yeah.
hey, let's do it in an abandoned apartment, or whatever.
Yeah.
Hardcore always had that. And
Well,
I think that's where our shows became better as far as maybe not technically, but more ballsy and energy.
well, it gave you the opportunity. Well, it gave you the opportunity to play real shows, not a battle of the band at high school, but it also gave you be part of the scene in that do it yourself kind of a thing. But see, for me, the metalheads kind of coming into that, even if they weren't wearing the costume of a metalhead, they were wearing the costume of a hardcore guy. But early on in the 80s, there's one band in particular who I won't mention. They were hardcore band, but it was like, I'm metal, but I want to play shows. So I play hardcore. And I was like, well, that's fucking weak. Like if you're
I know.
You know what I mean? So I wasn't into that shit. And but it was just kind of like, I mean, it was set, as soon as it was set, I was like, oh my God. Because I was, I left that behind to be all in, jump in with both feet into the hardcore scene because of the community and because of you don't have a place for us, so we're going to make our own place. That kind of thing. And, and again, it was the same thing with the New York kind of melting pot vibe where, you had 300-pound, like Charlie, like, black skinheads. You had, Puerto Rican dudes, you had white dudes, you had super scary Krishnas and Asian dudes. Like it's a weird it was a weird scene. Like you don't get that in metal or any hip hop. Even now you get a little crossover in hip hop, but it was
I love.
Uncomfortably comfortable. You were like, I'm nervous, but I'm happy.
But because you were like, everybody's not the same. So even that's made it easier for you to be different in front of other different people.
I remember the first time we went to CB's, I was me and like, I can't remember, maybe my friend Danny Zick or something. We were like leaning against the wall, like kind of next to CB's, just trying to like, melt into the wall so nobody would like see us or like beat us up or some shit. And this dude came over, he was a black dude with a mohawk, and he was just like, hey, this is your first time here? And we were like, yeah. He's like, me too. Can I hang out with you guys? And we were like, like freshmen. And we were like, yeah, man. All right. Nervous dudes and numbers. And then we became friends with them and we hung. But it was just like, fuck. And that never, that shit didn't happen anywhere else at that time in the 80s, in the mid 80s.
Yeah.
It was very
I'm lucky. I caught the end of that era, which I started going to shows in 88, so it's later. That's why I never say, oh, I'm from old school. The old school guys are all old guys like you.
Me.
You, Stigma, and Moses.
Jesus.
Yeah, Jesus.
I only got 3 years on you on going to shows, but
those were like 3 crucial years.
But people would say the same thing to me, like, "Oh, you're old school." I'm like, I'm not old school.
No, I know, but that's why I'm glad. What I'm glad is from that era.
Blood Clot's old school.
Yeah, I grabbed. I come from that era, and when it just started getting more swaggy, so I got the traditional values, but I was a newer kid, and I liked the swagginess.
It was like that was peaking.
Yeah, and it was but what I was glad was that exactly what you said. This is what I'm going to get into now. When we're going to talk a little bit about the straight edge thing, but this is kind of my point was back then it was common to know, that's drug addict Mike, that's straight edge Steve, right? That's Krishna Karen, that you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and everybody hung out. Even if you busted balls, that's communist Chris, right? Right? We all that's white power Ron. That was one of everything.
Yeah,
you know that, and I know that, right? But it was kind of like, we all mixed it. You got nowhere to go, even if you didn't relate. You just were like, nobody wants us. You go stay there, I stay here.
We were all under the umbrella of hardcore, but what happened under that umbrella was,
exactly like a family. You don't want to usually know what goes on behind closed doors. There's a lot of,
like a lot of older dudes with X's on their hands smoking dust.
Yeah,
like that's cool.
All right, and but I was in the era of that where I was used to everything. Even if I wasn't, so to me, it was a thing. So this is why I want to talk to you about, and especially with you, because you guys always stuck out different. And I don't know if you guys saw like this. All right, we'll start with this: the straight edge, growing up, to getting into the whole straight edge thing as a kid. What led you to that? And then I'm gonna get into kind of some theories I
For
have.
me, it was like when I first got into like punk and hardcore, I was still drinking and doing drugs. But like I said before, my brother was 4 years older than me. So what he was doing at 16, I was doing at 12.
Yeah, got
And
you. Yeah,
that was normal for
I
them.
know.
You look at your sons and you're like
That's
12,
true.
I'll
I
break
know.
your head.
I know.
But we
Yeah,
were
you're right.
undercover, we were street kids. We would just walk out the door and come back at night. So that's the thing. People are like, oh man, you never drank. I was like, no, I drank and did everything, but I was a kid.
Yeah.
But I was fucking up and I was failing everything in school, summer school, getting my ass beat, getting in trouble at home. And then one day I was just like, I'm kind of fucking over this shit, and then I was already into like Agnostic Front. And then like I got into like Minor Threat, and then Youth of Today, the Can't Close My Eyes 7-inch. And then I kind of saw how the rest of the scene, like the hardcore scene, got annoyed by like straight edge dudes. And I liked it because when you're like the anti,
Of
and this is
course.
still a driving motivation for me, like to annoy people. I
Yeah.
find very energetic, like to be like a pain in the ass, but like subtly. So
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I'm gonna get some goats with this, or like we're gonna annoy the old guard,
Yeah.
like Donnie the Punk and like
Yeah.
those like those dudes like Wrecking Machine and those guys. They
Yeah.
fucking couldn't stand this shit.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we relished that. So it was like we were making a little scene inside the scene, just the way AF had their scene inside the scene. Murphy's Law had their scene.
Yeah.
This was our thing.
But this is the thing, and this is what I felt, and you probably, I mean, part of it was you were from the neighborhood and you knew a lot of us, of us that were from growing up in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
But this was the thing with the straight edge thing. I never associated you guys as being the same straight edge guys as the Youth of Today dudes, even though some of you guys had interchanging parts.
Well, those guys were not from New York.
This is what I'm getting into. This is why I want to break down that, because one, I got mad love for straight edge. I was never a straight edge hate. To me, again, it has nothing to do with anything.
That's the thing. Like people would say to me, like whether straight edge dudes or like the youth crew guys or whatever, like when I would be hanging out with you guys or like worse characters or like, doing whatever.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, yo, why are you hanging out with those dudes? I'm like, those dudes are my friends. Like, I don't give a fuck what you do. You know what I mean? I don't care. I mean, we're friends, whether it's neighborhood or the hardcore banner. If I just hung out with straight edge guys, my life would be so boring. I mean,
I know. Yeah.
And I remember being at a bachelor party in the basement of Niagara. And,
I could imagine, that's hell already. That's fucking Sodom.
Yeah. So it's like what's under the swamp.
Yeah.
And I was with one of your brothers, a few of them, and we were watching some shit go down on the pool table, and he's like looking at me, shake his head. He's like, "You're the worst straight edge guy ever."
Yet the best.
And I was just like, or the best.
Exactly.
I don't need to get fucked up. I'm there. I'm
watching the movie. Yeah, and I'm watching the movie live.
Yeah, watching it. I'm having a great time, and I'm good.
I love it. No, and this is exactly why I say I get into it, because one, straight edge is a factor of the hardcore scene, like like a mohawk is like a skinhead is. It's all hands down. It's part of the. It's or not, it's part of the.
It's hard to look at it when you're in it, it's always like the perspective is always, like hindsight is 2020. So when you're in it, I think it's hard to like look at it from an outside perspective because you're trying to like live your little group or your scene. But I think straight edge bands, or not even straight edge bands, because I never really considered us like a straight edge band. We never talked about straight edge. We would just happen to be straight edge, but we didn't give a shit that much about like popping shit about straight edge. I give a shit more about popping shit about veganism and about like the global like effects on things. But straight edge, it was just like, this is a personal choice. Like, I don't suggest this to anyone unless you got a problem or you might be like leaning towards that. But it's like, even kids who are like, oh, I never had a drink, and I would just kind of be like, all right, that's cool, man. But eventually the worm might turn, and then you might go off kilter, because you don't know what you're missing until you like do something. I know what I'm giving up. I know what I'm missing, and it wasn't good. It wasn't good for me.
No, and the reason I like talking about this because I'm giving the perspective from the meathead side of people just being like, thinking also all the meatheads were like, you straight edge, fuck straight edge, pussy, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. When it was like, no, it happened on both sides. There was meatheads that were assholes. Why I understood why straight edge dudes turned up. And I also knew there was straight edge guys, it was vice versa. But to me, and what you said was exactly how I would explain it. And I never, Gorilla Biscuits, again, since you guys were from the neighborhood, I never looked at you in that way. I was just like, I looked at you how I looked at bands back then. Oh, they're a hardcore band. Oh, yeah, they're straight edge dudes in that band. I didn't say, oh, that's a straight edge hardcore band, and that's not. Again, I was also never close. I didn't really mix with the youth of today guys. When I first heard the early stuff, those tracks I loved. Break Down the Wall. Those classic shit, hands down.
Amazing,
of course.
Amazing
but
records.
we never mixed, and I never felt. I could feel, not even that it was me personally, but I mean, I could tell there was a disconnect where, okay, now the straight edge thing is becoming its own animal. It's no longer like the straight edge thing that we're gonna go watch Nausea next week, and then we're gonna watch.
There was like, that was when the whole like costume, like the dressing thing, and the haircuts and the sneakers and the elitist kind of thing came into it. But I mean, I've always, you've known me for fucking like 30 years. So it's like, I've always been my own person and like outspoken about stuff like that. And if I would, I was always like, that shit's stupid. And I dress the way I'm going to dress. I'm going to, it's kind of like fashionable bum my attire, and I just do my thing, but I'm not going to like get this to match or that to match this person or that person. Cause it's no matter what, it's still hardcore. It's still punk rock. It's hardcore. You got to do your own thing. So when things became too much of the same, it was, even for like an insider or someone who is like, the straight edge, like insider or like youth crew guy, it was totally stupid and like, annoying. That's what I want. That's why I asked, because I know how you are and I know how you would think already. And it's just interesting that some people think, also throw straight edge under one umbrella when it's like, there's a few out there, but I think with youth of today, it was, I mean, because I went on tour with those guys and they literally changed my existence by taking me on tour. I went on tour in '87 as a roadie, and we did like 2 months in the US, and that's
crazy.
That's mind blowing shit. Like, maps, phones, shows getting canceled.
And going to Europe early on, them, you guys were like, I believe me, I do my homework. I know my homework. I'm a hardcore kid. I say the N word too much than the average kid, but I'm a hardcore kid. I grew up in this. I know my history, and I was a fan, and I love it. So I know who did what.
That was the thing with like, especially with Europe, where again, for me, it was like, I'm not just gonna lace up some straight edge bands. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna lace up my friends. My friends are here, and then like straight edge friends are just in with friends. You know what I mean? But when I came back from Europe, the second time, the first time we went with a squad of punks, and it was brutal.
Oh,
we earned
back to
we earned it.
Europe. I love Europe. It's my second home, but they love the squat thing. Ooh.
Oh, there was, you're playing a show with like 10 crust punks, 2 German shepherds, and like and a garbage can on fire inside the squat,
Yeah.
and like you're up there and you're trying to do it, people would be fake sick, sleeping in the van because they didn't want to play that squat, getting spit on.
Oh
But
yeah.
that's how you earn it, and that's how you get your stripes. But when we went with Mark in 91 with the first MAD tour, and I came back, I called everybody. Talked to you or Freddie. I talked
Yep.
to Stick of It All, Agnostic Front, because it was different. Those 2 years changed it because people were going over, and then it just opened up, the whole thing. The festivals, the piggy bank was open, and it was just like we could play real shows. And Europeans
Yeah.
are amazing because they have memory. Where
Oh
like
yeah.
New York people, US, you get like it's trending, or like, I don't know, I'm gonna go watch this tonight, I'm not gonna go to show. You show up, Europeans show up, and they
Oh
don't
yeah.
and they don't forget. And
Yeah. You know as well as I do. The this music is still alive because of Europe. I'll
yeah,
say that
yeah,
because America, yeah, we have our diehards, but Americans are finicky, and Americans,
play
our
the coast.
diehards are our diehards. But
Yeah,
Europe, the soul lives there. Like from my first tour, there was kids that I met that I see them first start dating. Then I see they got married. Then they had a baby, and now their kids are coming to our shows by themselves.
yes,
Like
it's great.
literally, and it's like a rite of passage over there.
Yeah, sometimes I think that's bad parenting.
Yeah, I know, right? It was like, but it's so
it is.
insane, and then like, it's insane, and it feels good, and it's sometimes doing this shit long enough, sometimes you start thinking, you get older, you start
Yeah,
thinking like, I want my shit to count. Whatever I do, I want it to count in life. That's how
yeah,
I think. You know what I mean?
yeah.
That's why I take pride in my band, and
Like legacy.
yeah, exactly. Even when I go out, I want people to be like, "Yo, that was a cool motherfucker. Yo, what he did was this. Yo, whatever he said he
Right.
did, yeah, he was this and that." And I really do that. And when I get that, when a father or a mother is willing to tell their children, "No, you could go there because I went there and I feel they have it's the safe place." Because I think of my kids.
Well,
And
that was another thing I was gonna say. Go back to like the umbrella, or like when things started getting separated, when how things change, or perspectives change with like the scene. Like when Mike came back to do the Black and Blue Bowl with Judge,
yeah,
I was working on the phone with that for 2 years,
yeah,
literally talking to him, and then in person, and then he came to the Super Bowl that we played, and then we were working him, and then but at first he was like, dude, I can't play that show. Those guys want to kill me. And I was like, dude, that was 20 years ago. Like 2 dudes threw something at you. Like,
yeah,
it ain't the same. You know what I mean? Like, shit changes. It's like
yeah,
those guys are fucking grown ass men now. Like, they're not
yeah,
wilding out, on the Lower East Side. Like, we're grown men. Like, it's
yeah.
different. And he was like, I don't know, brother. And it was just like, it's fine. You know what I mean? But like, that's the thing. Like, everybody now is back. I think everyone now is back into one scene, at least the old guard. You know, what I mean? There's no crew.
Yeah, for sure.
One big crew.
And that's what I love that. And I love that because let me tell you, sis, I think again with a band like Judge, I love that was the perfect shit. That was the hard dudes for the hard guys. The hard. I was like, yo, and it's a fucking, that album is a big influence on me because I was like,
hard to tell. Yeah.
I was like, man, these motherfuckers came with it. And that's what I was already on, some groove shit, crossover, it's heavier.
Yeah.
And I was like, and he was singing, I like the vibe. Again, like he's saying what he believes in, but it's on an aggressive side. So I'm always all for it. You know what I mean? And that's one of the best B&Bs also was that Judge set, man. Fucking
that was
ridiculous.
Sick. That was
ridiculous. And fucking but yeah, so and then early on, so all right, when what was the first year of GB went there to Europe?
The first time we went was 89.
'89 was the first. Yeah, and you guys were the first, or Youth of Today was? It was one of you two, right?
Youth of Today went first in '88, and they went
And then
with
you guys right after, right?
Sid and Lorelei. I think before that it was like the Dickies and like, you know, maybe like Bad Religion. I think in '88 we played shows with No Effects on their first tour. We did like co-headlining shows with No Effects, and like a couple other California bands like made it out, but not much because you couldn't like you couldn't cut it unless you were fucking kind of nuts, because you were in a van for like 2 months in the fucking winter, sleeping in squats, and you'd like fight for like a free like piss covered wet bed with bed bugs. You'd be like, yes,
yeah, I know,
got that shit, and you'd go in your sleeping bag and you'd be so happy to sleeping in piss. You know, people don't understand like how crazy it was.
Okay, and then let me ask you this, because I know you exactly like you know you were big with the veganism and all that. When did you turn vegan? Were you vegan on your first tour out there, or not yet?
I was vegetarian. Maybe, well, no, in '88 I might have been. I think I was still vegetarian, but the first tour and going to England, and I went to there was like an animal rights anti-fur march, and that's when I first got the vegan kind of bug. And I remember going to this store. Like, England's early on, man. They're like they get shit early, and it's like very things are accepted a lot freer, I think, like, you know, for like outside thought on things. And there was this store that was like 100% proceeds went to like animal rights groups, and they had like t-shirts and mugs. And then I went to this march, and that's when I came back, and I was like kind of like annoying vegan, like, you know, popping shit to people with fur coats on and stuff like that. But never throwing like, you know, paint or anything or gluing locks. But I respect people that do that. It's punk. But, and then, so yeah, it was pretty early on. I think I was 17 when I went vegetarian, and then I went vegan. And then when my oldest kid was born, I was like, fuck, I don't know if I want to raise her vegan or just vegetarian. So I raised my oldest vegetarian, and for a couple of years I would like eat like a slice of pizza, you know, with her, or like let her get like ice cream, man, just so she had some like normal kid stuff. I had like guilt about it because but now like my youngest daughter, she's raised vegan because it's so much easier now, and it's
now it's dope. I'm vegan some days.
Let's talk about 100 pounds weight loss. What's up? How'd you do that?
Man, Jake, a lot of fucking vegetables and a lot of counting calories.
Nice. Counting calories. You look good. Not to change the subject, but you look good. I got to sweat you a little bit.
Yeah, I'm grinding. I got to get my banana hammock ready for the summer, you know?
Yeah, of course. You got to get on the beach in it.
Now were you vegan on the early days of those tours in Europe?
I'll tell you a story. That we always relive. We were playing like some fucking castle in like Transylvania, like to like 10 squatters. I hadn't eaten in like fucking 2 days, and they were like, well, we can order you guys pizza. And I was like, God bless you. Do it. I'm like, I want one with just tomato sauce and vegetables. Can you do that? You know, and they're like, sure. But of course, when they phone that one in, the guy's like, they can't mean tomato sauce and vegetables.
Yeah.
So we got 5 pies with cheese and pepperoni.
Perfect. That's what you wanted.
Exactly what I asked for. And it was after the show, right? And you know, I mean, you know about people getting cracked on tour, or like cracking somebody on tour, you know, like Sick of It All style, like where you're trying to crack them. So this was my breaking point. I'm pretty mentally strong, but I opened up this fucking thing, and everybody was like, yo, fuck it. And they were just chucking the pepperoni. They're like, I'm eating this shit. And I was just like, I lost it. I threw it on the floor. I started screaming in like a rage. Now it's raining. I'm in like a muddy field next to a castle in the pitch black, right? Out of the van door. I take my own shoes off and I throw them into the woods in protest, right?
I'll show you.
I'll show you, pizza, man. I literally start crying.
I fed up. That's it.
Done. Now, those are my only sneakers. So now I got to walk in the dark in my socks in the mud and find my sneakers. And I really showed that pizza.
I showed them. You were
And
like
then
this with the fist.
and then I just gave up and went to sleep. And
Yeah.
I would eat like, I'd get like a baguette at like a rest stop or a gas station and get Tartex. Remember Tartex? It was
Yeah, of course. That's how,
tube.
yeah, the toothpaste. Fucking.
Yeah, it was. I would just squirt the toothpaste in my mouth and then eat bread in the van, pissing in bottles.
And that's why I asked, because now it's fucking. You go to anywhere, you have a vegan section. Now it really is like I eat a lot of stuff like that too, because it's so easy and the taste is good. They work. Back then, you guys would eat a thing of tofu and exactly a hunk of bread, and it was like, yo,
even on tour when I started doing the CIV thing in like 95, 96, we were on tour. And I remember they were like, oh, you didn't buy food, like in Germany, like you didn't buy food today. It's a holiday tomorrow. Everything's shut. And I was like, how the fuck would I know it's a German holiday tomorrow? Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. The fuck. And
right.
And I remember I hadn't eaten. I was, when you're on tour and you fuck up your time because you're getting cracked, it's winter. I would sleep until like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and then I'd wake up in the dark, and then I'd stay up until like 5, and then I wasn't seeing sunlight, so I was cracking hard.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And I wasn't eating, and I went to a grocery stand and I bought a head of cauliflower. It was like the only thing they had. And this English dope. His English bus driver, he was like, "I've got a steamer," and I was like, "Fantastic! I was going to eat it raw." And he's like, "No, we can warm it up." And I remember sitting in the back of the bus at like 2 a.m. with like salt on this head of steamed cauliflower. And it was like, this sucks. And like, I had like a girl at home. I was vegan. I was straight edge. There was zero fun.
No fun at all. Especially if you're a well-practicing straight edge guy. There was no fun at home
at all. So I wasn't. There was no relief.
Fornication.
There was only masturbation. It was the only
no sinning.
There's only self-sinning. It was the whacking was the only thing you could do for any relief.
And then they make you do it in front of a mirror so you could be embarrassed.
Yeah. I feel bad.
I'll show you straight edge fucking morals.
Watch what I'm gonna do to myself now, self.
Watch this. I'm gonna watch myself do this. But yeah, because I always thought that, because I would always learn, like I would see little hacks or hear about the old, I used to hear about the old Youth of Today hack of the Big Mac with no meat or stuff like that. So I used to think like, yo, you had to be creative. And I also know touring with Earth Crisis, my favorite fucking vegans, but I used to see, even when we toured with them a bunch of years ago, it was still in the Midwest. There was no vegan shit. It was still like that. And I saw them, and those were like, I got a lot of love for them, very good friends. But even then, early on, I saw how, because I liked them early on, and then I would see, man, for them to eat, it's fucking kind of hard. Like, it's not just a normal thing. And I remember this, I tell this story all the time because it's part confession. So one of their friends brings a case of Pedialyte, like chocolate milk Pedialyte kind of baby, and I'm like, what the hell you guys are doing this? They were like, yo, when we don't have food, it give us, nutrients or whatever.
That's rough.
Rough, right? And I was like, man, that's fucking, salute, whatever. So one day it's a day off, and it's me and my old drummer, Johnny LaFada, and we're hungry. And we're like, man, there's no food here, or whatever. And we're like, yo, they got some chocolate shakes here. It was their fucking, we looked at each other, we're like, we start pounding them. Not all of them, but we took a bunch. But then we felt bad that we were eating these guys like dinner. But I was it was just rough to think about that. Like, whoo. Just
Well, that's the thing. It's like you're kind of like take it for granted when you can just like, even like a festival where you can just walk and get like a meat stick and you're like, I'm good, whatever. But I mean, now luckily we have excellent fancy riders because we're so rock and roll.
yeah,
But
exactly.
when I always tell this story too, when Mark, when we did before our record came out with CIV, Sick of It All took us on tour, and we took H2O with us.
We played shows with you in
We
Europe.
played shows together. We
Yeah.
had, and there an organized fist fight was on that tour. there was betting. There was like old time.
Bet, like a poker game and
there was betting going
the
on.
saloon.
One of the most uncomfortable fights I've ever witnessed. But it was. But on that tour, we were at a festival, and you guys were playing, and Sick of It All was playing, but H2O and us were not. And I said to Mark, I was just like, "Yo, man, can we get like meal tickets or some shit?" And he was like, "Oh, you're not the headliner. You're not in the playing, so suck it, And I was like, "Bro, I'm here. I'm in the bus, just sitting here for 24 hours, maybe 48 hours. Like, I got no food. I got no." And it wasn't like euros. You had to have like the right kroner or like guilders, whatever the fuck. And I was like, I don't have any money. Like, what's up? So me and Toby would go see who was playing on stage. We'd get a razor. We'd walk to the back of their tent, cut a hole in the fucking tent, go in and steal their food. And people, and I was like, Mark, like, I'm too old for this shit. I'm like 25 years old, and like, bro, like, I'm stealing food out of the back of a tent. Like, come on, man, give me a meal ticket. Yeah. That caused big beef with me and Mark for years. Then I jumped shipped off the team. I was like the first one to jump.
You're like, I'll show you.
Oh,
and now I'm gonna go, and then you're like, now I'm gonna go jerk off in front of a mirror. How about that?
I'm gonna eat this orange. I'm gonna go jerk off.
Jerk off in front of the mirror. I'll show you. And take my sneakers, throw them in the woods, and jerk off in front of a mirror.
I'm gonna use this orange, and I'm gonna give it to Toby.
Yeah, I watched Toby. Will go from like when obviously he was like whatever, straight, vegetarian, then vegan, then he fell off during Hazen Street. I saw him fall off. I think he was vegan for a bit, and then when he fell off, or whatever you want to call it, falling off of like, but he was like, he ate a Snickers bar, the little one.
Yeah,
it was him, and he ate it, and I watched him almost bust it in his pants, and he was like, "Oh my god, you know how he gets," and he was like talking about this, like if the juiciest, honey pot was in his mouth.
Like Eddie Murphy with the cracker on the island. Like,
yeah, exactly. Just the best that I swear I watched him and I'm looking, he's like, oh yeah, and he's like eating it slow, like showing. I'm like, it's a fucking Snicker bar, the little bullshit one. Not even a big one.
When you're like so weird and sick in the head that you limit your shit, it's like
I know
like that were a big deal.
That's why I love him. I love watching him. Like, I'm like, wow, that's what you call wilding out, yo.
Yeah.
Salute you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's really good.
But and real quick with the CIV shit, so when you were going on with the CIV shit, this is what I always wondered. Like, I know like that project kind of popped off kind of quick because I remember,
it was like nothing that was intended to happen.
Yeah, and I kind of know that guys had some music together and they got you back on track. What I want to talk about that I had a blast was the video. Even though you don't see us, I had one of the best times that day.
It was fun that day.
Yeah, it was right on St. Mark's. I remember in the fucking rehab place or wherever it was. I remember Ezek was like, "Yo, they're filming a video," and just hanging out that day. I remember like on St. Mark's, I was like,
"Oh, was it Toby's video where I was dressed like the news reporter at St. Mark's?" Because we did.
Oh, was that the Toby's video?
That was the one where I dressed up like a news reporter.
That's what it was. That's what I remember. I thought it was you guys. Yeah, you were the news reporter, and we were hanging out.
I had like a gray wig on and like a suit and fake teeth. Yeah.
That's what it was. That's what I remember.
But that was the same time frame. That was like with CIV and H2O. We were like playing a lot of shows, and like records came out at the same time. But the CIV thing was just like, I was already tattooing. I had my shop open, and I was like, I'm done. I'm out. You know what I mean? Like I had a good run. I'm happy, and I'm doing this. And Walter was just like, I got 2 songs. Let's just do an EP because hardcore is changing. Let's be like all right, it's not about metal or hip hop or tough guy shit. Like let's
song.
give somebody an alternate view. And I was like, I don't give a fuck. Like I don't want to do anything. Yeah. And then he talked me into it, and because we had like not really, he was doing Quicksand and then that stuff, so we had not really connected for a while. And then it was crazy because I kind of like forgot how to even do it, like because I've been off for like 3 years, and like I went into Don Fury's and I was like, I don't even know how to fucking sing shit anymore. Like I had to re-sing like the Gorilla Biscuit stuff to just try to like find my voice again.
Yeah.
And then we recorded that with this dude Chris Gibson in New Jersey. I sang that in a bathroom, and like with the cord going through the bedroom.
Yeah.
And we recorded all of that in his apartment. And then Marco Ciega, a neighborhood guy.
I know Marcos, of course. He's the OG of Jackson Heights. You know that.
So Marcos, he had Bell Studios. He was trying to do like a studio. And then he was like, I want to get into directing. And I got this, I want to do this video. So we met at this Italian restaurant, and he told us the concept, and then we started, riffing. We started like saying, this, we can have this kind of we were writing it, and he had the shots and the concept, but it almost didn't come to pass because he was like, we got to pool our money and do it. And I was like, pull what money?
Whoa.
It's like,
yeah, hold on.
Needle scratch. Whose money?
Who's like, yeah.
And he was like, he's like, me, you, and Walter will chip in like $5,000 each, and we can do like a $100,000 video for like 15,000. And I was like, that was all the money back then. I was like, 5,000, like, you crazy? And they were like, yeah, but this can happen. I was like, I don't want shit to happen. I was like, a video, but I ain't paying $5,000 to do a video for myself,
Yeah.
So we kind of like talked it out. And we were like, all right, fuck it, we'll do it. And then we went to Silver Cup, invited people, everybody. We did a thing, we did the video. And it was ridiculous because Green Day and like Offspring, record companies were looking for the next thing. Like Rancid was like next on deck. And they were signing anybody. Like we had 2 songs, 1 video, but we had the Pedigree and the Road Dog kind of thing behind us. Yeah. So they were like, yeah, let's sign these dudes on a video. So it's kind of whack for other bands that were like trying and like playing and doing work.
But you at the same time, I know how you're right when looking at it that way, but at the same time when you were, a guy like Walter, he grinded, he put his time in.
We did the work. We did the work.
Yeah, he did the work. And even if you fell out a little, he was part of that, and he was grinding. He did a lot,
That's all he does. He just writes.
Exactly. He did it before hardcore, post-hardcore, coming back. And so he he's not in the wrong for that.
I know it was earned.
Yeah.
But it was also like the whole, not like that it wasn't earned. It was just like the music scene or the label scene was so desperate and like falling over themselves. It was like, in my own mind, it was like 5 years ago, you wouldn't have pissed on me if I was on fire. Now you're sucking it because you want me to, now you're sending me like fruit baskets.
Yeah, so no. I saw you.
CasadaRock.com, home of that fly DIY. You want to support the show? Go cop some merch right now. We got a lot of new t-shirts, shorts, and caps available. Everything is made in-house by your boy on the spot. So show some love, support the movement. CasadaRock.com is the spot.
I saw, I love that whole post shit. But as much as I also was like, what I didn't like was some of the bands that they wouldn't even acknowledge who they were.
Oh, the wackest shit. Yeah.
That's what bothered me. Because listen, I could name them for you. If you look, and this is proof, you could go to any old videos. If it was Into Another, Quicksand, Angry Head, Big Red Crush, fucking whatever. All our dudes were at those shows. We loved the music and the bands.
They were hardcore deniers.
Yes, but we all, and again, hardcore, because part of it was our fault, had shut down because of a lot of violence. But we loved the music, and we would go to all those shows. We loved Into Another. We loved Quicksand.
Yeah.
We loved, because the vibe was there.
One of my favorite, and those are some of my favorite bands. But
and I was working out to that shit the other day. I put on the Creepy EP, listening to all that type of shit. That's my shit.
Artist Without a Medium, man. That's my shit.
Yeah, like again, that's Sabbath. Anything with that Sabbath, and we loved it. And if they have any videos, you would see us in the crowd, because we would go to any and every.
Into Another at CB's was great.
Yeah, and all that. We watched so many. That's why it was like, and and the whole shit was not that I heard any of those bands say it verbally, but sometimes I would get the feeling from certain bands like they wouldn't even acknowledge.
Yeah, they would try to They definitely tried to separate.
Yeah, and that's what bothered me.
I never understood either. Yeah. I actually had the opposite, where I was like, "Can I call CIV a hardcore band?"
Yeah,
I was like,
and I know, and you were around. Again, since you didn't separate yourself physically, it didn't feel that either. Other guys weren't in the mix either, and then they're doing a side thing with under an umbrella that we're all under, but yet you're standing with your own umbrella.
I mean, that's the thing. I would always show up. I mean, that was the conversation I had with Mike too early on. I was like, "Yo, man, this doesn't make itself. You got to show up. You got to turn up, and you got to be present to set the tone." But I mean, I remember going to Continental with my kid. My kid was like 2 years old, and we were like eating falafel like 2 a.m. at a Continental show, like sitting at the bar with headphones on. It's like, you show up at those the Coney Island High shows, all that. Like, even if you're just hanging out outside, you got to show up. But,
and that's what I said.
No, it's crazy though. The post, like I met Haley from like Paramore.
Great girl.
Hardcore.
Yeah. One
of the greatest front persons and singers. I listen to that shit all the time. She's unbelievable. And like Jimmy World, or like the fucking My Chemical Romance dudes. Hardcore. Hardcore.
Good dudes. Gerard, good, we know. Yeah, of course. Yeah. They go same thing. When we met them, he was like, I know you, this is why I liked him. He was mad cool. From jump, he goes, "Yo, I know I look like some weird, crazy guy, but yo, I love Madball. I see Madball, blah, blah, blah." And this was before they blew up. Yeah. When we were doing the Hazen Street stuff, we met him. And I was glad when he got to do his thing. All those guys, I root for those guys. Any guy who says, "Yo, I love hardcore," and says it out their mouth, I root for you.
Yeah, that dude, what was that other that band with Pete Wentz and
exactly, the Chicago band.
And the All Stars. What was the guy with the tall black dude who was singing? It was like a separate band. It was whatever. I met him on the Warped Tour, and he was just like, got off his motorcycle. He was like, "Yo, Gorilla Biscuits." I was like, "Yeah, all right, that's cool." And
I love that, and that's what I said. I said, this is why it bothered. Look, we played a show many years ago at Lowlands Festival. It was Madball, Los Lobos, and Korn. Los Lobos watched our whole set, and they were going nuts.
That's sick.
We hung out after the show. We hung out hard with them, and I'm like thinking, "Are you kidding?" They're telling us like, "Yo, you guys killed it." I'm like, "No, you motherfuckers killed it because they could play."
Yeah.
We ended up connecting so good. They played New York. Stigma went to see them. They had Stigma backstage. It was nuts. But my point was this: where these guys had La Bamba on the radio, the movie soundtrack. They were on stage. When we got off, they were like authentic, like, "Yo," hugging us, like, "Yo, you guys are fucking wow." And then we got guys from our own world that try to act like they don't even know who you are, or they want no part of the lifestyle. That's why I would get upset.
That's a weird thing too. Like when like dudes who like you or like the scene that you're in, they try to like big league you, and they try to like one up. And it's like, I never tried to one up motherfucker in my life. Like, if I think you're a dick, like, I won't talk to you. But like, if I'm a fan, I'll say, "Yo." That's how I met fucking Haley. She was at the show, and I said, "Yo," I said, "My name is Civ, big fan." I introduced myself to her, and she was like, "Big fan of you." And I was like, "What do you mean?" And she's like, you know. So I didn't know she was a hardcore kid.
Yeah,
But,
yeah, no, she's cool. She, she
but
rolled
like
up to
she could have been like she could have
yeah,
cooled down the
asshole.
shit out of me. She could have been total asshole. Like
Yeah,
that's why
no, for sure.
like when we were doing Civ stuff, we played shows with like Bush, total assholes.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Hell
Like
yeah.
that those like rock shit, and it was
Of
just like there was
Yo,
so
let me
many of
tell you,
those.
I've seen the best. Like somebody I always shout out and I push, Doro Pesh. You know the old. She's back in the day with in
Yeah,
the metal scene or whatever. Let me tell you, I've seen her do the hardest shit. This is why I got mad love for her. Again on some other shit. There's guys in our own world that will try to brush us off. You walk by them at a festival, they won't even look at you yet. A couple years before that, you know, a couple years before that, they're going to your shows.
yeah,
About 15 years ago, I filled in for with Scarhead, right in Europe, and we played a festival with Ezek, with Agnostic Front, one of these lowland festival, and we're all backstage, so all the fellas regroup, is all of us, Ezek, Puerto Rican Mike, man, we run into Stigma, and who's back there? Doro played the show, and she's there, so she's surrounded by
huge.
entourage, and
Yeah,
right, and right away, Puerto Rico, we all like, oh shit, that's Doro, and Puerto Rican Mike loved, Doro, the metal Puerto Rican metalheads. But then we're like, hey, could we take a picture? She was with a mad crowd of people around her. She saw us, she was like, and we were like, yo, AF and Doro, that's gonna be a hard pick. She left everybody. She made way. She was like, hold up, I'm taking a picture with the fellas.
that's
She
awesome.
came, right? Check it out. We took pictures, blah, 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 blah. I got them classic pictures, blah, blah, blah. Go. Fast forward, I played a festival with her fucking 2 years ago. I posted a picture, and the same thing I saw. I said, "Doro, I don't know. I don't want a picture." She was doing a thing with somebody. Same thing. She looked at everybody. She was, wait, push them aside. What's up? Let's go.
Because
Pictures, yo.
it's also the road dog. It's
Yes.
like the trenches. It's the military kind of like vibe.
Yes.
Like some of my best friends on the road, like I'm bad at keeping in touch with people, but when you see people that you went through a tour with, it's like you were in a fucking battle with them, and you're connected forever. Like whether it's just the snoring and the farting in the bus,
Exactly.
fights, loading in the winter with equipment, whatever.
Yeah.
Sound guys, stage hands, like the Warp Tour. I got friends from the Warp Tour, those first two Warp Tours where it was like early dudes. I would do anything for, and girls, because it was just like you were in it.
Yeah, an experience is like being, yes, exactly. Exactly. Like I say, I always say that about us, like we're still in the trenches, but like what you just said, when you live this life, it's like when you live in the trenches, you have that connection, you understand, like.
But it's also, we grew up without the fantasy of rock and roll, and you're better than anybody. So it's like, if fucking Stigma needed a fucking a half stack put on stage, you wouldn't stand there with your arms folded.
Yeah,
you would fight with each other to help him.
Facts.
You know it's like Youth of Today. Youth of Today played in Philly a couple of years ago. I was like, yo, there's no water on the stage, so I like went and got a case of water because I was their fucking roadie.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we do.
Yeah, like if you guys are playing and someone spills water, I get a rag. I go.
Absolutely, I go up there. There's a cord cross. I go up there and start pulling cords. I'll do that. Hell yeah.
I don't want. Yeah, exactly. Like a mic stand goes down. It's just what you do for each other. There's no one's cooler than anybody else.
Yeah, even though I'm cooler than everybody else.
You're cooler than a lot of people. I'm speaking for myself.
but
I'm not cooler than anybody.
Yeah, but like, all right, and now fast forward now during this whole shit, everybody knows you're tattooing, and I seen that you've been working. What's the situation right now? You're able to work right now?
Oh yeah,
you're at the shop.
We were only closed for 3 months during like when they did the shutdown, but we're hardcore, so it's shut down.
Yeah.
So but we've been up and running. I mean, my shop's been there for 26 years, so we just do it. Yeah. We just do what we do.
So
I don't even really think about it. Just work.
So you just sit still, fucking. So the shop is basically like nothing. You didn't miss a beat with that couple of months, but
Yeah,
you've been able to.
couple months. I went upstate. I went upstate a lot during it. It was like in like March, April, May. So I was like up at the lake, at the lake house, just kind of chilling, and then I, do what I had to do a couple of days a week.
Yeah,
But,
that's dope. All right,
it's one of those things. It's like, it's the same thing. It's the kind of a hardcore or like do it yourself ethos where it's just like, no one's gonna stop me but me.
Yeah.
So you
work around, make it happen one way or another. Yeah.
You just if you say oh, you can't do this, I'm gonna go, okay.
Sim, the same way you do it now is the way you were doing it when you were tattooing Freddie and all of us in downtown.
92 on the Lower East Side, 5th.
Exactly. I remember exactly.
That's the thing. Like how I started.
No, exactly. Went back to, and I think that's how I start thinking how shows are gonna start. Like back to like, yo, this abandoned building, this apartment,
living
this basement.
Room. I know. I think it's already. I think it's happening already.
It is. Like you remember when the raves were big a couple years ago, a bunch of years ago, in the middle of the woods, in the middle of nowhere, you fucking
warehouses.
All right, listen.
I got sick in Europe. I got sick in Europe on that fucking tour. That I came back sick from that.
Did you?
Because it was already in Europe. Like Trump was like China, all that shit. Yeah. It was already in Europe, and now I'm handing the mic out to
so like you called, so you had it.
Yeah, I had. I came back fucked up for 2 weeks.
Did you ever get tested for it? And
they didn't have the test. It was February.
But you fucking caught. Yeah, if you had it.
I was on the couch for 2 weeks. I got my kid sick and my wife sick. I was fucked up.
Coronavirus.
I lost 7 pounds. I just slept for like 2 weeks straight. I was banged up. But then I kind of was like, fuck it. Whatever. I didn't die, so who cares? Whatever.
Yeah, fuck, man. Hey, knock on wood, but thank God.
Whatever.
But good shit. But all right, look it. Before we get out of here, I'm gonna give you a couple of. I'm gonna throw a couple of things at you, and you tell me the first thing that you think of. Right?
Okay.
First word. All right, ready? Coffee.
Delicious.
Wine.
My wife.
Blame her. Queens.
Stomping grounds.
Hummus.
Delicious.
Love hummus. I'm so addicted to hummus. It's ridiculous now.
Yo, can I interrupt things for 1 second?
Yes.
I'm so soft right now with like being gluten free and shit. I'm so soft. I got an aversion to legumes from eating too much hummus. I can only fuck with seeds right now. It sucks.
Oh my God. Yeah. You're like a parakeet. You turn into a parakeet.
It sucks.
Lagoons fucking with you. All right. This is a perfect next one. Singers.
Fuck, singers. The best? I don't know.
Bitch stomachs, but all right.
Responsible.
Talented.
That's it.
All right. Metal.
Past. It was the past.
Rap music.
Biggie.
Punk.
The beginnings.
Country.
No.
No, thank you.
No, thank you.
And last but not least, New York hardcore.
Life-changing. I always had a fantasy like of when I watch like award shows for whatever. And I think if anybody who came from hardcore like wins like an award, the only thing their acceptance speech should not be I want to thank God. You just go and say, I want to thank Agnostic Front, the Cro-Mags, Murphy's Law. Thank you. Good night.
You know what? I think that would be. I think I would do that.
Me too. That would be my acceptance speech. Because without those dudes, it wouldn't exist.
I agree. like I say it to this day when I see stigma, I get there's something that goes through my body. Like, yo, we have our Hercules alive and he's still on stage. Very few people could say that.
I don't like. I just was on tour with those dudes, and John Joseph too, or Jimmy. Like, I'm still like a 16-year-old like hardcore kid. When I'm with them, I get nervous, and I can't even kind of believe that I'm friends with them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and hanging out with them, especially when like Roger's like wiping his ass and throwing it at people, and I'm like,
yeah, it's better. You're like, yeah.
I'm so lucky I'm friends with him.
It doesn't get better than this. It doesn't get better than him popping a hemorrhoid fucking zit on you or stuff. But yo, Sip, I'm glad I got to get you on here. I've been wanting to get you for a minute. I'm glad we made it happen. You know what's up. And I hope to fucking see you in New York, man. You know, I think things are gonna start opening up a little bit more. And the minute we could get out there.
Listen, I'm holding it down in New York, dude. I'm here. I'm always here.
I know. I left. I'm like, no, this shit's too hard for me. Leave it to the straight edge vegan dudes.
Someone's got to hold it down. You motherfuckers.
All right, but Siv, let everybody know they can catch you. You're on Instagram.
Yes.
Siv on Instagram.
Civ_GB, and send me the link to this. I'll post it up. We'll hype up.
It's gonna be up next week.
The name. And if you ever bored, need a part 2, hit me up.
Oh yeah, I got an idea that we're gonna talk about later that I definitely want you part of.
Yeah, whenever I'm here.
Yeah, for sure. Yo, Siv, one love. Everybody go check out Gorilla Biscuits. Go get that fucking new music. Go get tattooed by Siv. Don't bring him legumes because his stomach is fucking faulty. But one love, Siv. We talk soon.
Love you,
we
brother.
out.
Peace.
Love you. One love, bro.